You've probably heard that we only use 10% of our brains, but what if I told you that's one big myth? Sounds mind-blowing, but the truth is actually way cooler. Let's get into it. I've been a professional mentalist for over a decade, and I've seen firsthand the beliefs that people hold on to when it comes to the power of their own mind. Some say the 10% idea goes all the way back to early psychology, probably William James, who talked about our unrealized mental potential. But science has moved on, and they've moved on in a big way. With today's brain imaging technology like fMRIs, we know that pretty much all parts of the brain are active at various times throughout the day, even during rest. And different parts light up for different tasks, showing that we're working with a complex, interconnected system. There's no 90% that's left unused, and in fact, that would actually be incredibly inefficient. Let's think about this for a moment. The brain consumes 20% of your body's energy, even though it's only 2% of your total body weight. That's a massive amount of fuel for something that supposedly is just 90% idle. If you ask me, the brain doesn't waste resources. It's actually doing way more than what we give it credit for. Here's the wild part. Certain people show us what's possible when the brain operates just a bit differently. Take Jason Paget, for example. A head injury triggered his ability to see intricate mathematical patterns everywhere he looked, kind of like augmented reality, but without the technology. He has what's called acquired savant syndrome, which seemingly unlocked dormant abilities within his own mind. So if you think the mind is limited, think again. Let's talk about something called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rewire and reshape itself. As a student of psychology and a mentalist, I've seen firsthand that the mind can adapt and find new paths when it's forced to. Certain studies have shown that when someone suffers an injury, the brain can often find ways to work around it, even shifting functions entirely to different regions inside the brain. And that's why I'm convinced that the mind holds untapped power that we're only beginning to understand. So the next time you hear someone say that we're only using 10% of our brain, remember that science paints a very different picture. And the real picture is this. We are using 100% of our brain's power. It's just that we only understand about 10% of what the brain is actually capable of. But what we choose to unlock, that's where the real magic happens. And who knows what else we could achieve if we dared to push the limits of what we believe is possible. What do you think? Are there hidden parts of the brain just waiting to be unlocked?